Welcome guys back to the ILWPOD channel, and it is me, Nasty Nate, and today I will be giving you my fantasy booking on how the Shield would return in 2026. So, we will start out this journey at WrestleDream, alright? We have this I Quit match between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. Darby Allin will come out on top, especially after his loss at All Out. But he will beat Jon Moxley at WrestleDream, and this will show to the rest of the Death Riders that they have nobody. That, they don't have a good leader. So they kick Jon Moxley out the group. He goes on this downward spiral. He's taking loss. He's taking pins on Dynamite, Collision. He's losing to freaking Sammy Guevara and Mark Briscoe and people like that. He's losing to Speedball Mike Bailey. Alright? And he just can't stop it. So he's unhappy where he is in the company. So he leaves. He just walks out on AEW. And we are now going to jump ship over to WWE, where Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are feuding for that World Championship. Right before the Rumble, at, let's say, Saturday night's main event, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the World Championship. Roman wins. Okay? And he carries that title into the Rumble. Okay? We get into the Rumble. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns are in there. Number 28, Jon Moxley's music hits. He walks out through the crowd, gets this huge pop. He's finally back in WWE after a long time. Okay, he comes in, he starts eliminating people left, right, paradigm shift here, paradigm shift there. And it's like a whole different person. It's different than the lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose. Something we've never seen. He's violent. He even comes out to the ring with a barbed wire bat. He's ready. He's back. He wants to win. He wants to go to Mania and win the championship. He comes in, and after he eliminates two people, he locks eyes with Rollins and Reigns. They're all in this little triangle, and they're facing off. And they just start battling. And Jon Moxley eliminates Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is mad. And Roman Reigns goes to eliminate him right after. But as they're, locked up on each other against the ropes, we'll say CM Punk comes and just throws both them over. And now all three of the Shield members all battle. And they're brawling. It gets taken out to the back or whatever. So the Monday Night Raw after the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns will come out there with his championship, the world champion, and he's mad, and he calls out Jon Moxley. But instead of Jon Moxley coming out, it's Seth Rollins. And he comes out there, and they have a little promo, and they're like, where is Jon Moxley? They both want Jon Moxley. And then they start brawling, and in the middle of that brawl, Jon Moxley comes out of the crowd with his barbed wire bat, beats up Seth Rollins. He's all bloody, and then him and Roman lock eyes. And as we've seen, Moxley never had a problem with Reigns. He always had a problem with Seth. So they lock eyes, and Roman hits him with a spear, whatever, takes his championship, and gets out of there. So throughout the weeks, they have promo battles. They're fighting. And Sami Zayn won the Rumble, so he's going to Mania to face the other world champion. But at this point, Roman has nobody to fight him at Mania. So what is set up is Seth Rollins versus Jon Moxley at Elimination Chamber and a number one contender match to see who will go and face Roman at Mania. They're fighting, and it comes to midway through the match. Jon Moxley has it won. Roman comes through, though, and he doesn't want that. He spears Jon Moxley, puts him in a guillotine, chokes him out. So Rollins gets on top of him, pins him 1, 2, 3. and the match is set. But the Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber, Moxley's pissed. He comes out there, he's raising hell. He even starts assaulting security guards, takes Michael Cole, cracks him over the face with a steel chair, whatever. He's mad, he's furious, and he's just calling out Roman. So him and Roman finally comes out from behind him, attacks him, catches him while he's not looking. Seth Rollins comes out, does his thing to Roman, and next week, Adam Pearce is sick of all the madness. Adam Pearce is, disgusted with everything. He's mad at Moxley for beating up Michael Cole, security guards, causing damage to the ring. He's sick and tired of the other two just always fighting. And he makes it official. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Jon Moxley for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. And we finally get our Shield triple threat that we were long overdue for a long time ago. And after that's all settled, they have a contract signing. It goes all sideways. People are getting put through the table that's there. And even Jon Moxley signs his signature in Seth Rollins' blood after using his special barbed wire bat. And it's set. So they all get to Mania. They have their great match. And Moxley wins the World Championship off of Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. But at the end of this match, Jon Moxley, before Roman leaves and Seth leaves, he gets them all in the ring and they do the Shield thing, which signifies, and he grabs a mic and says, "You guys are looking at the new Shield." And the Monday Night Raw after Mania, they're out there celebrating. Moxley has his world title. Rollins and Reigns are next to him. They come in their old Shield gear. And they come out through the crowd, how they always did. And it's just like how it was in 2011. But this time you have Jon Moxley, not the lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose. You have the Seth freaking Rollins, the visionary, the revolutionary. You have Roman Reigns, the OTC. It's a way different ballgame now. They're not all coming straight out of NXT or OVW or FCW, whatever. They're actual signified stars. They've been to their other things and they've done what they've needed to do. So at the next pay-per-view at Backlash, it is Rollins and Roman in a tag team match for the World Tag Team Championships. They win them. Now they have all the gold. And then it gets to a Saturday Night's main event. Jon Moxley pins Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, Moxley's a double champ. Roman's a champ. Roman and Rollins are champs. And it's like back in 2011. And they go through and they tear through everybody. They have them trios matches like they did back in the day. And they put on amazing matches, and 5 stars there, 7 stars there, and it gets to SummerSlam. It is a trios match, winner takes all, between the Shield and the new Vision. The Vision will still be around in my reality, my thing. So, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Dominic Mysterio. Alright, I know it sounds a little crazy, but Dominic runs the thing now. He took over Seth Rollins' role, alright? And they go out there and have a classic. Winner takes all. It falls count anywhere. They can go through the whole arena. And it's elimination too. Gotta mind that. So, starts off, Roman is the first one eliminated by Dominic Mysterio off of a roll-up. So now it's 2-1. Okay? Next thing you know, Jon Moxley, the world champion, is taken out by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, Spear Tsunami, and now it's a 1v3. But Seth freaking Rollins clutches up, and he curb stomps Dominic Mysterio, takes him out. Next, it's Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker accidentally spears Bronson Reed, then gets caught with a curb stomp and pinned. Braun Breaker's out of there. Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed misses a tsunami, and then hurry up, curb stomp onto Bronson Reed, onto a chair. 1, 2, 3, it's over. And they retain. It's the next night on Raw, and Seth Rollins grabs the chair like that one time back in the day. And he thinks about swinging it. He goes to swing it, but he stops. And he realizes that he almost did it again because of he felt like that he just put in all the work himself, and Moxley catches on and he paradigm shifts him. And then the next week he's talking about how he just had to teach his brother a lesson, because that's what brothers do. So they have to teach their other brothers on what to do. And he basically calls him like little bro, like little brother. And Seth Rollins doesn't take too kindly to that. And while at, let's say, Armageddon, alright? It's the Armageddon Hell in a Cell. And so we're bringing it back. Armageddon Hell in a Cell. We have Jon Moxley, Sami Zayn. Who else? We can have Aleister Black, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Randy Orton. And in that match, the door's been taken off, so anybody can come in. At the end of the match, Moxley is about to paradigm shift Randy Orton. And after right before he sets up for it, a masked man whacks him with a chair. And then sets it under him, curb stomp. So we already know who it is. And it's Seth Rollins. And Randy Orton gets on top of him. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton's your new world champ. Moxley lost it. And then now the Shield is broken up. They all come to the next night on Raw. And Roman leaves by spearing Seth Rollins and just dipping on all of them. But now it's Moxley and Rollins in basically an old feud back to like 2016, 2015 that reopens. But it's way more brutal this time. It's Jon Moxley we're dealing with. We're not dealing with Dean Ambrose. So they go back in a series. They're tied up 2-2. And for their final match, they have a 3 stages of hell. One match will be a street fight. Another match will be a submission match. And the last one will be an I Quit Hell in the Cell. And it'll be one of the most brutalest matches you think you've ever seen. There's blood, there's tacks, there's barbed wire. There's barbed wire chairs, barbed wire 2x4s. They even set a 2x4 on fire. And the stairs, there's a toolbox. Even Seth Rollins pulls out one of Jon Moxley's teeth. And it's brutal. And they finally settle it in that Hell in a Cell. But before Seth Rollins can hit that final curb stomp on Jon Moxley, Roman Reigns comes in, spears him, and places Jon Moxley on top of Seth Rollins for the 3. And after that, Roman Reigns helps Jon Moxley up. They do the Shield fist bump. pick up Seth Rollins and do the Shield powerbomb through the announce table. And at this point, they both set ways. And they both continue the rest of their careers in WWE. And that is how I would book the Shield reunion return of 2026. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you already haven't, and see you next time on ILWPOD. Peace.